The country in mourning following a mass murder on the West Coast. Here in the nation's capital, flags lowered on federal buildings to honor the victims and will remain that way for 7 days. And the same sign of respect can be seen at Ottawa City Hall, where flags will be lowered until sunset next Tuesday. Good evening. It is a solemn day in Ottawa and right across the country. Tragic incidents here in our region have launched criminal investigations, but tonight we begin in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia, with an incident gripping the nation with grief. We warn you, the stories in the first part of this newscast are distressing.
These kids were lost before they got to become teenagers. So let's put their pictures up, please, and remember them, not this murderer.
You must have known all these kids.
Yeah, I taught some of them soccer. Most of them were in Kylie's class. One of them was Kylie's best friend.
Takaria was Kylie's best friend. This is so devastating.
Those were sentiments shared by the parents of 12-year-old Kylie Smith, a young victim who was in grade 7. Her parents say they didn't know she had been killed until 9 hours after the shooting. Those tears shed by more than one family since yesterday. 9 lives taken, including the shooter, now identified as 18-year-old Jesse Strang. Here's what Prime Minister Mark Carney had to say earlier today.
It's obviously a very difficult day for the nation. This morning, parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers in Tumbler Ridge will wake up without someone they love. The nation mourns with you. Canada stands by you.
An emotional Prime Minister speaking to what many Canadians are feeling tonight. And here's a recap of some of the details. 9 people are dead, including the suspect. 1 teacher, 5 students, and the suspect's mother and brother were killed. At least 25 others were injured. The suspect has been identified as Tumbler Ridge resident, 18-year-old Jesse Van Roetselar, a.k.a. Jesse Strang. Tumbler Ridge is a small northeastern British Columbia town with a population of around 2,400 people. It's located about a 13-hour drive from Vancouver, and police say the suspect, who eventually took their own life, was known to them.
Police had attended that residence on multiple occasions over the past several years, dealing with concerns of mental health with respect to our suspect. I can say that on different occasions, the suspect was apprehended for assessment and follow-up.
Police say officers recovered 2 firearms, a long gun and a modified handgun. The shooter's possible motives are still under investigation, but this is also a reminder that these tragedies can and do happen. Ottawa's former police chief Charles Bordelot tells CTV there's training for these unfortunate incidents.
This community is very small. It's policed by the RCMP, and there would have been just a handful of officers working at best during this incident yesterday. So the number of officers that were initially tasked with responding, we understand that they responded to the scene within 2 minutes.
Word of this tragedy has gone international, with condolences even coming in from the royal family in England. But closest to us, Ottawa's mayor posted this. Accompanying this image came these words. Many Canadians woke up to heartbreaking news from Tumbler Ridge, BC. Our thoughts are with the victims, their families, and the entire community after this devastating and shocking incident. This morning at Council, we observed a moment of silence in memory of the victims of this tragedy. Ontario's Premier also offering condolences this morning. The final line of his message reads, Ontario stands ready to support the people of British Columbia however we can. And the Ottawa Police Service, who knows all too well what it is like to respond to tragedy, issued this post. It reads, in part, we extend our deepest condolences to the entire community of Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia, following the tragedy at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. We mourn with those who have lost loved ones and stand with everyone impacted in the days ahead. And even Ottawa's NHL franchise, though on break for the Winter Olympics, has Tumbler Ridge on its mind as well, saying in part, our hearts are with the victims, their loved ones, and all those who are grieving. Please know that our thoughts and sympathies are with you. Stay with CTV News for any further developments of the school shooting in Tumbler Ridge. For updates on radio, tune in to News Talk 580, CFRA, and CTV News channel at any hour, or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. Here in the capital, the third murder of the year is now being investigated. Ottawa police say they were called to a shooting around 4:30 this afternoon. It happened near the intersection of Bankfield Road and Prince of Wales Drive. Police confirm that one man is dead. 2 people are in custody. The victim has not yet been identified as they continue their investigation and ensure relatives hear it from them first. Police are asking anyone with information to contact the homicide unit or provide an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. And there is another tragic incident in our region to report tonight. 2 children and a father are dead in a suspected murder-suicide in western Quebec. This happened in Kittigan-Zibi, which is located about 2 hours north of Ottawa, just outside of Maniwaki. Police were called to a home on Kitchimacan Street around 2:15 in the morning. CTV's Austin Lee has more.
This home in Kittigan-Zibi, the scene of tragedy.
Young children whose life was ahead of them are lost, and there was not much we could do to help because there was no signal put out that there was a problem.
Police say 2 children, a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, were shot and killed by their father in a suspected murder-suicide early Wednesday morning.
Upon arrival, one of the 3 individuals had died, and the other 2 were transported to the hospital where they were pronounced dead.
Sûreté du Québec is now leading the investigation, working alongside local police. Kittigan-Zibi Anishinaabe Chief Jean-Guy Whiteduck identifying the 41-year-old father as Randy Tolley.
He lived outside for a period of time also, but I don't know a lot about his personal life. I would be in a difficult position to really make any comment. I know he had some issue with the law in the past.
A neighbor who did not want to appear on camera tells CTV News the father was very private and he kept to himself for years. Shortly after the horrific incident, Gatineau MP Stephen McKinnon expressing his condolences.
It's just an unbelievable thing to wake up to. I know that community very well. My thoughts go out to the chief, all the members of that community.
Prime Minister Mark Carney also writing on social media, "Our prayers are with the victims and all those who love them," adding government officials are in contact with local authorities to ensure the people of the community receive every support we can provide following this heartbreaking loss.
The community is there, and we're really encouraging the community to stand together, stand strong, and support each other in these difficult times.
Austin Lee, CTV News.
We know the news today has been difficult and heavy to hear. You are encouraged not to deal with these feelings of sadness alone. If you need to talk to someone or you are struggling with a mental health issue, please know the Distress Center of Ottawa and region is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call 613-238-3311, and we will leave that number on the screen for a little while longer. The national toll-free crisis line is 988. Stay with us. We will continue with more news of the day in just a few minutes.
You're watching CTV News at 11:30 with Stefan Keys.
Welcome back. We'll get to your full forecast in a few seconds, but first, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, where the temperature is -5 right now. Jackie Perez joins us in studio with more. Jackie.
Well, overnight lows is still pretty seasonable for this time of year, -12. Yeah, there is a chance of flurries, but this is in the early part of the evening. Tomorrow, we are anticipating mainly sunny skies and warming up to about -4 degrees. Yes, we still have those northerly winds moving through, but it won't be as bad as what we saw the last couple of weeks. Overnight lows across eastern Ontario sitting between -10 and -12. You could already see the warm air moving in for Trenton and Kingston, where the overnight lows are down to the minus single digits. So this is the good news as we look towards tomorrow's daytime highs. Yes, averaging between -3, -4 degrees for really most of eastern Ontario. But again, closer to the water, it's getting closer to the freezing mark. So that is what we're really looking forward to as we extend towards the next several days, even into the weekend. Valentine's Day looking pretty nice, -3, the daytime high, mix of sun and cloud. But you could already see for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we are going to be on the positive side, but 4 degrees for our Tuesday. And I don't really see a lot in terms of snow or rain until we get to next Wednesday, where the chance of flurries, maybe some freezing drizzle, gets significantly higher. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. City councillors voting today to explore options to offer refunds or discounted future service as OC Transpo users face another week of reduced service. CTV's Leah Larocque has all those details.
Any bus that goes into Vanier will be about a half hour late.
The clock ticks by for Dan Ryan.
It was supposed to be here at 10 after.
What time is it now?
31.
He says the service is terrible and riders deserve a financial break.
I think it's ridiculous that we have to pay full fare for a bus that's an hour late.
Is that carriage?
Council voting to look at ways transit users could be compensated. Options like refunds, capital improvements, or discounted future service. Staff will make suggestions in May.
Transit users are suffering right now. A lot of people on the road that aren't transit users are suffering with the congestion, and anything that council could do to help improve that with future compensation is important to do and consider.
But here is the main problem. OC Transpo doesn't have any money. This year alone, it's facing a $47 million hole in its budget. So this begs the question, if a refund or some sort of compensation is coming for riders, where will the money come from? Councillors want to look at using savings from penalties to the LRT maintainer for poor service.
The monthly service payments that we pay to RDG are significant. You know, we're not talking thousands of dollars, we're talking millions of dollars. So there is a significant sum of money that could be available. You know, any funds that were withheld, we may be in a situation where there is a dispute with our maintainer on those funds.
The city will also create an accountability policy where riders would directly benefit.
Something that Ottawa can show how this kind of governance can lead to better reliability for riders.
OC Transpo says fixing the problem is going to take time, and the city is once again asking for patience.
Better times are on the way for OC Transpo. We just have to get through this very, very challenging, difficult time, frustrating, irritating time.
Leah Larocque, CTV News.
The Public Service Alliance of Canada says its Program and Administrative Services Bargaining Group has declared an impasse in contract talks with the federal government. The union says the move comes after last week's announcement of new return-to-office rules for public servants. In a statement, the union says the team made the decision to declare an impasse as the employer refuses to bargain in good faith. The union adds declaring an impasse triggers the next step in the collective bargaining process. The group represents more than 100,000 public service workers. Soon you may have to put your trash on the curb on a different day. That's because the city says it's changing the waste collection schedule. Starting March 30th, the city says about half of Ottawa households will have a new collection day. The frequency is not changing, and garbage, organic waste, and recycling will still be picked up the same day. A letter will be sent to all residents who receive curbside collection to let them know about the changes to their schedule. You can also check the city's online collection calendar. Meanwhile, a proposal to expand an East End landfill is getting a cool reception from residents at a public meeting in Navan tonight. The Navan landfill's owner, Waste Connections of Canada, is seeking to add 3 to 4 million cubic meters of extra landfill airspace to the site. Right now, the landfill is said to be close to capacity and was expected to be full by the year 2027. Back in 2007, the community group Friends of the Mer Bleu thought they had come to an understanding with the operator that there would be no further expansion. And the area councillor says anyone who bought a home in the area since then was told the landfill would be winding down.
They're going back on their word. So, when I first heard about this, my first steps were to find out, is there legality in that agreement from, the city side, from the province? There's not. But in my point of view as the councillor for the area, it was a good faith agreement with the community, and I appreciate the frustration and the hurt that they're going back on their word.
We don't want to see a landfill in the middle of a growing area. And what is of prime concern when I'm looking at it as a longtime resident, 20 years in the area, I'm seeing new developments being approved by the city directly abutting the landfill.
Councillor Kitt says the project is provincially led and the city does not have a formal role in reviewing the application. The landfill was originally built in 1960 and is located to the Mallette bog, an environmentally sensitive area.
There has to be, 35 or 40 flights set up over the next X number of days.
Coming up, an Aylmer man mulling over what to do while vacationing in Cuba. That story just ahead.
Griffin and Bedkowski. Here's Griffin across. Great stop there by Nelson on Tyler.
The Ottawa 67's goalie on fire tonight, not allowing any pucks in the net. Nelson is the team's goalie, with many recognizing his career achievement during Black History Month. The team shut out the Oshawa Generals with a final score of 6-0. An Aylmer, Quebec man is among the thousands of Canadians in Cuba preparing to be flown home due to a fuel shortage in the country. Canadian Airlines have said they'll stop flying to the island nation after U.S. President Donald Trump cut off their fuel supply. CTV's Dylan Dyson reports.
Aylmer resident Steve Chapman just arrived in Cuba on Saturday and was looking forward to 3 weeks in the sun.
We were scheduled to return on the 28th of February. But obviously, I think we're leaving before that.
He and his wife are having to leave their Veradero resort behind after a fuel shortage in the country forced Canadian Airlines to cancel future flights into Cuba and instead schedule emergency repatriation missions to bring Canadians back home.
We spoke to the agent on the ground here at the hotel, and she told us that we will be receiving an email that is giving us our scheduled flight out.
There's about 35, 40 flights a week that go between Canada and Cuba. So there has to be, 35 or 40 flights set up over the next X number of days.
Chapman flew down on WestJet. In a statement, the airline says, due to the ongoing fuel shortage in Cuba, our aircraft are being dispatched with sufficient fuel on board to safely return to Canada without refueling in destination. As of Monday, Global Affairs Canada said there were approximately 7,200 Canadians registered in Cuba. Aviation experts say it should only be days to get them home.
But I'd say for those 7,200 by Saturday, they're home.
Chapman says they have not felt too many effects of the fuel shortage yet, but outside their resort.
One person said that they can only afford to buy about 2 liters of gasoline a week kind of thing. So that's not a lot of fuel to get themselves around.
Chapman says they will continue to enjoy the white sand beaches until they are forced to return to the white snow back home.
We're just going with the flow, and when we get the tap on the shoulder to leave, we'll do it.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
Sticking with this issue, travel officials say no one should plan on going to the island nation for at least 2 to 3 months and potentially much longer. CTV's Pat Foran reports on what else you need to know.
Canada's major airlines have canceled flights to Cuba and have been sending empty planes to get Canadians back home. People vacationing there say the situation continues to deteriorate, even for staff working at resorts.
They're being asked to stay here for a week at a time because they don't have enough fuel to actually, for the buses to bring in workers.
TICO, the Travel Industry Council of Ontario, says travelers who have had their vacations canceled will be reimbursed. You'll have 3 options.
They either owe you a refund, a voucher, or if you want to travel to a different destination at a different time. But the key there, it's the consumer's choice, not the tour operators.
Cuba is known as a value destination, so for anyone rebooking to another sunny spot for the upcoming March break, they should expect to pay more.
Cuba is one of the least expensive all-inclusive destinations. So people are looking at having to pay additional monies to travel.
Cuban tourism officials issued a statement saying the Cuba Tourist Board in Toronto offers its most sincere apologies to the thousands of passengers whose long-awaited vacations have been disrupted.
I think the winter season is a write-off at this point.
A travel industry expert says trip cancellation policies could help some consumers if Canada moves its travel advisory from level 2 to level 3. Currently, Canadians are advised to exercise a high degree of caution, but the government could say Canadians should avoid all non-essential travel to Cuba.
It's our government just protecting their people from going to a country right now that will have blackouts, lack of food, lack of medication.
While Canadians primarily go to Cuba during winter months, some do vacation there during the summer or book trips for the fall. But with so many uncertainties, Canadians may want to avoid Cuba until it deals with the many issues it's facing. Pat Foran, CTV News.
It's very, feeling-wise, it really grabs you.
Coming up, marking Valentine's Day with heartbeats. We'll explain when we return. The heart is more than just a muscle. It's also a symbol of love, memory, and legacy. And veterans at Pearly Health are creating unique songs using their heartbeat to share something special for their families. CTV's Peter Sperling has their story.
Clear sound. I'm just going to record it.
Gail Fougere is creating music from her heart, literally.
I get all teary just thinking about it.
Recording her heartbeat. Sounds used as the starting point in creating a unique song.
It's very, feeling-wise, it really grabs you, I think.
Planning to share it with her daughter one day.
I think she'll probably get the final product when I'm gone. I've decided I'm going to do it for her because you can put little things on those that will bring happy memories.
It's part of a project at Pearly Health called Rhythms of Remembrance. Veterans combining their heartbeats with music, voice, personal stories to create digital keepsakes.
It's really unique.
Once heartbeats are recorded, residents work with music therapists to create something special.
We're going to create a musical composition using a song of the resident's choice, and some residents are composing their own song and maybe offering words that they want to share with their loved ones.
James Gafer has mostly finished his song, but he's not sharing it yet. It's a surprise for his wife.
It's been kind of fun.
Here's a sample of what a finished song sounds like. The program is funded by the Government of Ontario.
We would like to create a little bit of a legacy of our veterans. Allow residents the chance to connect to family, deepen connections to themselves and their past, and kind of engage in building a legacy that they can share through music.
Music shared from the heart. Peter Sperling, CTV News.
When we return, remembering 67's assistant coach, Vince Mallette. We'll be right back. Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Current temperature -5, feeling like -11 once you factor in that wind chill. And with the final check on weather, let's check back in with Jackie.
Well, kicking things off with mainly sunny skies, -9 to start with. But again, there is a little bit of that wind chill factor. It will be the coldest part of the day. It might even feel spring-like when the daytime high is going to be -4. And the days are getting longer. Sunset closer to 5:30 now. Taking a look at Friday, overnight it's going to be -15. Daytime high -5. Yes, the chance of flurries, maybe even that cloud cover. But Saturday, Sunday looking pretty great for the last weekend of Winterlude, where we are going to average daytime highs about -3, -1. And as we extend it to Family Day Monday, 1 degree is the daytime high.
Thanks, Jackie. Finally for us tonight, many in this city remembering former Ottawa 67's assistant coach, Vince Mallette. His passing comes with grief, but the memories come with gratitude. Mallette spent 9 seasons with the Ottawa 67s and helped lead the team to its 1999 Memorial Cup win. That scene of him jumping onto the ice after the win is one of the highlights in the 67's history. Mallette was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 2014. In a post on social media, his family shared their love, writing, "You are free now and finally at peace." Our condolences to everyone that knew Vince Mallette. That is CTV News for this Wednesday, February 11th. CTV News continues online anytime with our digital team keeping you up to date at ctvnewsottawa.ca. You can also watch our newscast live on the CTV News app, and for news on the go, listen to News Talk Radio 580 CFRA. For all of us here at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe.